Week 3 is over. It's in the books, gentlemen. What are your thoughts on this NFL season that seems to be flying by as week by week are flying by now? We're already week 3.
Week 3, man, already in the books. Early, man. The big game starting off with last Thursday night. This past Thursday night with the Giants and the 49ers. That game went about as probably went about how we thought it was going to go. Giants being turned back into the Giants. San Francisco, they didn't even have one of their best players. Still look good. This weekend, how about the Dolphins putting up 70 points, put up a basketball score on the Broncos. So couldn't wait to talk about that. Sunday night football, those Steelers look good. Patriots got back on track with an ugly win. Cowboys and the Cardinals. I'm sure y'all guys can get on that, but a lot,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, go ahead and hand over to you, Walt.
I want to start out probably with the 49ers. There was a lot of questions about them, at least the quarterback position heading into the season. And man, they look like they're not going to hold anybody up. That's the steaming train moving right now. Also, the Cleveland Browns, man. I'm kind of shocked how solid that defense looks right now under Jim Schwartz. Not shocked at Jim Schwartz. Hell of a defensive coordinator. Miles Garrett looks like probably the best defensive player in football right now. You see how teams are attempting to cover him with two people shadowing him before the play and whatnot. Deshaun Watson had a pretty good game yesterday. Him and Amari Cooper look like they got a connection going on. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams hold up moving forward. Chubb is gone for them, but they did bring back Kareem Hunt, I believe. So Cleveland Browns, man, in that division with the Baltimore Ravens, the Pittsburgh Steelers look pretty good, as good as they can look against the Raiders for that matter. But that's a tough as hell division right there. AFC right now to me, man, is well, it's nothing short of what we expected. I think we all figured the AFC was from top to bottom was tougher than the NFC, and it's looking like it right now.
I'm still pissed, man. I mean, I know that on the East West football, I mean, we're supposed to leave our bias at the door, right? But Cowboys, they play like crap, man. I'm still mad.
I'm gonna keep saying it, man. A blind squirrel always finds a nut. So whatever.
Hey, I
Uh,
think the moral of Sunday is any given Sunday. Nothing's a sure bet no more. I'm telling you.
well said, well said. I like TikTok, man. Sometimes TikTok because we're live on the Cowboys cast on TikTok, and sometimes people just jump straight into conclusions, like immediate conclusions, and they immediately think that we're talking about the Cowboys and they want to bash us. But I like Mikey, right, with the Cowboys star 520. I like his I mean shameless plug, man. I mean, he just put on there the Cowboys huddle is a better show without even without even seeing. So I had to go on YouTube and just take a look at it, and the Cowboys huddle has 1,103 1,130 subscribers, right? So congratulations. You guys joined November 9th, 2010. Congratulations on 1,000 subscribers since January 9th, 2010. So don't be coming over here with that mess, man, because trust me, when the Cowboys cast go live, we're gonna compete in numbers, man. Cowboy cast started November 5th, 2022, baby. And we're catching up. But anyways, this is East West. Give us a follow on East West. We talk about football here. Guys, let's get right into it, right? Okay, we're gonna talk about the games, each one. Let me know what stood out. I think we already kind of voiced the Giants and the 49ers at Thursday night game. Kind of a weird game. Well, I think maybe you can kind of chime in on that one because we didn't quite catch your take on that game.
Oh, the Giants and 49ers?
Yes.
The Giants stink. And the 49ers are look, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, man, the 49ers look tough. They look really tough. And we being honest about it, the past 3 years, the only thing really been holding them back outside of inconsistency at the quarterback position is injuries. They've suffered a lot of injuries throughout spurts of the season, but they look tough, man. Now the Giants, on the other hand, Daniel Jones, and they barely escaped against Arizona a couple weeks ago. It just, for me, I find it strange that the Giants look so shook up, considering how they looked a year ago. You know, nothing's really changed that much. You know, Saquon is still there, Daniel Jones is still there, but the offensive line seems to have regressed on some spots. They still don't really have a number one receiver like that, a big time threat. They can't seem to even attempt to get the ball deep to Jalen Hyatt. The defense is kind of like the Giants are just a really weird feel to me right now, man. For me, but I don't think anybody's surprised that the 49ers got them the way they got them, though.
Yeah, I like what I've seen for San Francisco, especially without Brendan Ayuk, Debo Samuel caught a touchdown, George Kittle got on ball. That defensive line is good. I think the Giants is a mess right now on the offense. I think the defense is solid, but the defense ain't bad. But on offense, they don't. I don't think they have a formula. You know what I mean? They don't know. They don't know what they want to do at times. I don't think that's what the Giants. I don't think they have that. Or they just they don't know. They don't know what they want to do at times. I think it's really just Daniel Jones running or bust for the most part. You out there with a bunch of twos and threes wide receivers. They make the Patriots wide receivers look like wide receiver ones. That's how bad the wide receivers are. But I just think that they need something. Darren Waller is okay, but even he had a drop. And that's all they really got. Nobody's keeping you up and down in that Giants offense. And it's been like that probably since Odell left, probably. They don't have that guy. Sterling Shepard can't stay healthy. Saquon's he's on IR. Well, he's out for a few weeks. So I just think they need another dynamic to help out. You paid all this money to Daniel Jones. Now you need to put the pieces around him. And you can't tell me Darren Waller, who's approaching what, 29, 30 years old, is the only thing you're gonna do for him.
I mean, like you said, sometimes it just look like Daniel Jones' feet is what gets him out of trouble and gets him in scoring position most of the time. Let's talk about the Falcons and Lions. Lions come away on top 26. I'm going to let Walt take care of this because, guys, just so you know, it's Lions Ave. He's rebranding. Make sure you go follow him on all his social media platforms. And at the end of the show, stick around and he'll tell you exactly where to find him. Walt, tell us a little bit about this game, 26.
Yep, Lions Ave. I don't want to get banned from anywhere else, so they banned somebody else. I know
We've been
yesterday too.
banned too, man. We've been banned too. We know the feeling, man.
Oh yeah, man. You ain't if you haven't been banned from somewhere, you're not doing something right, I guess. But yeah, I think I was surprised that our defensive line was able to dominate the Falcons' offensive line the way they were. I actually had Atlanta. I predicted Atlanta to win 27-20 because I thought with the injuries we suffered over the past couple weeks, Atlanta was coming in healthy. Now I didn't take into account that yesterday was Atlanta's first game away from not yesterday, but Sunday was Atlanta's first game away from home. You know, they played Carolina week 1 at home. They played Green Bay week 2 at home. So Sunday at Detroit was their first game away from home. But I think Atlanta went out there offensively and laid a complete dud. We can argue how good Desmond Ritter is or how not he is, however it may be. But for me, what really stood out, and it's not just about week 3, it's about week 1, 2, and 3 with Detroit. As horrible as our run defense was last season, we've barely given up a total of 100 rushing yards, I believe, in 3 games. And we've been able to completely deter teams away from running the ball completely. Like, I didn't think going into Sunday's game that we would be able to steer Arthur Smith away from running the football because that's what he wants to do. But we held Bijan and those guys to, I think, a total of 33 rushing yards, either 33 or 43. They only ran the ball 10 times with Bijan. We had the 1 turnover, but it was another tough, gritty win. We got some signs of life out of Jahmyr Gibbs. Fans around here were kind of hard on Jahmyr Gibbs the first couple weeks, especially considering what we saw from Bijan Robinson, what he did against Carolina, what he did against Green Bay. But to be able to shut him down, see Jahmyr Gibbs make a couple big runs, and, get another tough, gritty win, especially hurt, just goes to show what Kendall said. On any given Sunday, you really don't know. Because me and Ashanti both we both picked Atlanta to win, mainly because of the injuries. But hell, we went out there with the guys we had dressed, and we completely defensively shut down Atlanta's offense.
Kendall, what's your thoughts on this game? Anything stick out?
Lions, Falcons. I think the Falcons. I like what I've seen from them. The 2-0 coming into the game. Had a little hiccup last week against Green Bay, but they did come back and win it. Then this week against the Detroit Lions, first road game. Desmond Ritter it was kind of iffy. I want to see them get like Drake London a little more involved, and Kyle Pitts. I don't know what's going on there. I've been seeing rumors. I'm sure you two could probably talk about the Cowboys cast about him possibly going there. But I think he's hurt. I seen some film on Tree. Look like he's hurt or something like that. But that's not an excuse for last year because I mean they haven't gotten the ball the past couple of years or whatnot. So what was the excuse for last year? I feel like they got the talent is there. They got plenty of talent. I just feel like they're not using it. They got Jonnu Smith, made a trade for got him from New England, whatnot. Their defense is legit. And but I just thought first road game for the Falcons. I don't think they're ready yet. I thought it would have been a little bit of a tough task to go into Detroit and win. Detroit was coming off an overtime loss to Seattle the weeks prior to it. I thought it was just too much to ask for this young Falcons team. But I like what they're building there. I just think they need to use their pieces, the core pieces, a lot more.
Harv, what do you think, man?
Man, they just I don't know what happened to the Falcons, to be honest. The way they started out the year and then they came and just 6 points, man, with the talent that they have, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And then I think I saw a long play by Kyle Pitts and he overthrew him, but the way he was running looked like he was hurt. I don't know if anybody saw that or not.
Like he pulled something.
Yeah, like he was running like
Yeah.
he was hurt. So I don't know what's going on over there, man. It's just they just laid a dud.
Let's give it a little shout outs here and there. So anybody, of course, if you find us on EastWest Football, you can find us on YouTube, but that's where we're currently live. Of course, on TikTok, you're able to see the stream. But if you come onto our YouTube and you comment, we give you a round of applause. We all give you a round of applause. Our soundboard gives you a round of applause. Over, we're very interactive. Stephen White, hi y'all. Right, and que hubo, Jerry and Javier, and Kendall with the fire sign emoji. He even gave Walt the fire sign emoji, and he says Branch is that dude. Damn, Walt, what do you have to say about that? Is Brian Branch that dude?
I can agree. He's that dude. He is, man. They got him in position, pretty much utilizing him in that joker spot the same way Nick Saban did at Alabama. They're not putting him too far back deep in coverage. Pretty much playing him along the line of scrimmage, letting him be pretty much an extra linebacker in the box. And to have 11 solo tackles, he didn't have 11 tackles total. He had 11 solo tackles. So it was crazy, man. And there's no drag downs. Like he hits people and they go down. He wraps up well. He's a very smart player. And right now he's looking like the steal of the draft, honestly, considering where they got him. He was supposed to be in the first round pick. I know he was rumored to be going to New England in some mock drafts, but they didn't take him. Green Bay wanted him. Come to find out, they traded with us that 45th pick, and we took him.
And you know what? I thought he looked like a Patriot player to me. Let me see. Give us some people some shout outs on TikTok. Contra, what is it? Contrarian says the Cowboys should be ashamed. So embarrassing. Contrarian saying Gallup can't get open. Prescott needs to go. Cowboys are a total mess. Cantu Reyes says the Cowboys look like Vegas had had money to make back. The house will not lose. Tyler says bolt up. And Cantu Reyes says it's Las Vegas, right? And let's talk about the bolts up, right? The Chargers. They pulled this game. I mean, they got so lucky, but and this is going to be a theme, I think, throughout the rest
I think if they lost that game, we're talking about Brendan Staley getting fired. I think me and Harvey talked about it on Sunday. I think if they lost that game, we're having a conversation right now about the first head coach getting fired.
Already, Kendall?
Yeah.
You sound like an old confidant of ours that would want to fire every coach every week.
Me and Harvey talked about it pregame. We said if he lose this game, he by tomorrow he'd have been fired. Probably on the flight on the way back from Minnesota, he'd been fired.
Hey, but what a game, right? Because it ended to Kirk Cousins' hands. Harvey, I think me and you, we talked earlier. We say something's never changed. It's like Groundhog's Day. I mean, you kind of basically said, I mean, they got lucky winning this game. Walt, have you seen is Kellen Moore a true offensive coordinator guru in the NFL?
Guru, you guys know better than me.
We want to hear from. I mean, we already know how we feel.
Yeah. I don't think it's hard to tell with the Chargers, because Justin Herbert is just so mondo talented, and the guys they have on that offense with Palmer and Mike Williams is hurt now. He's out with a torn ACL.
Mike is out for the year and Derwin James is out.
Yeah, Derwin always out.
Well, he ain't
But
out for the year, but he's out for a while.
yeah, he just like on Madden, man. Whenever you look at the Chargers roster on Madden, Derwin always out.
You know what
But
I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a shirt that says NFL ACLs have feelings too.
Oh damn, that's funny. NFZ with his cowboy star logo.
but
Kellen Moore, and he says Kellen Moore is trash.
But
I
no,
mean,
like I said,
I'm just saying,
I think it goes back to Herbert, man. I mean, is Herbert just so talented that he can overcome Staley's stupidity and he can overcome Kellen Moore? Because let's be honest, man. Like, if Justin Herbert wasn't their quarterback, I don't know who the backup is there, but if he wasn't their quarterback, but Staley was still their head coach, what would their record be over the past 3 years?
No bueno,
Exactly.
man. No
That
bueno.
team is too talented for that head coach to keep putting them in these type of positions, man. And I agree. I said the same thing, man. Watching that game live, like as a Lions fan, I was kind of torn because part of me wanted to see Minnesota lose, but then part of me wanted to see Minnesota win just to see what the Chargers did with Staley. So I was kind of torn with it, but when he went for it on that 4th and 1 from their own 25, I felt bad for the Chargers. Like, man, like this is the guy that calls the shots for you, because it made no sense. The analytics thing, man, it made no sense at all. But like I said, part of me kind of wanted to see Kirk Cousins lead the lead the game winning drive, just so after they scored a touchdown, the camera could have cut away to Brandon Staley, because that was actually what was going to happen. If the Vikings would have scored on that drive, the camera was going to immediately cut right over to Brandon Staley. And I don't know if anybody caught the Fox post game show when Howie Long and Jimmy Johnson, everybody was talking about it, and Jimmy Johnson said it was one of the dumbest things he ever seen. Because it was.
So I'll say this, man, because I think C3, he said it on TikTok too. He said they blew a 20-point lead in the playoffs last year. That's not on Herbert though.
People tried to put it on him because they like to blame the quarterback.
That's on the coach, man. And not only that, they brought him in to help this defense.
Dude,
that's his specialty.
In that game against the Jaguars,
is it because he was with the Rams and he had all that talent? So he looked like a genius calling those plays. I think that's what it was, man. I don't know if he's a good defensive coordinator, even at that.
Listen, my question is this: in that game against the Jags, they blew a 20-something point lead, but didn't he run the football like 6 times in the second half or something?
Yeah.
It was some weird stat where he just kept throwing the football.
Yep.
Kendall can answer that question for you.
What's the question again?
Last year in the playoffs, with the Chargers and the what, Jags?
Jags.
Yeah.
Where I think he threw 3 picks to Asante Samuel.
Asante Samuel Jr. Trevor Lawrence threw those picks and whatnot, and they still couldn't come back. And when they still lost that game, so that was crazy. I thought Staley should have been gone last year at the end of the year. How they couldn't finish no games and things like that.
They couldn't finish.
You seem like it. You remember the North Turner Chargers from years ago? They always talent isn't the issue. They got all the talent. Talent has never been the issue. Just like the Falcons, talent never been the issue. The Chargers and the Falcons are kind of alike, but the Chargers mostly it's always somebody injured, hurt, get out to a slow start. They blowing a lead. I mean, it's one thing after another when it rains and pours down there in LA. But it's just like it's always something going on there. They've always had talent. Always, Mike Williams is out now. I ain't heard Quentin Johnson name all year. He was a first round pick for them, right? Yeah, first round pick. He has not done much. I don't know his stats right now, but he's gonna get hella opportunities right now. Mike Williams been out. So like, and Brendan Staley, he's a defensive coach, right?
Yeah, he was.
Why is that defense so bad? Now Miami does have a good offense. We saw what they've been doing, but that defense is bad. And you have a defensive coach. I never thought a defensive coach and a star quarterback works together. I never thought that. I never thought it was a good mix.
I don't know know about that.
I never thought it because when you
Mike
look at,
Tomlin and Ben.
okay, give me some more.
Let me see. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Yeah, but I
I'm
mean
just saying. What a
that's
Tom,
only that's just a couple. Though I'm just saying, like
okay. You
Brendan Staley,
asked.
Brendan Staley's a defensive coach. Justin
Yes.
Herbert. I mean, they haven't gotten it done. They've been what 2 years, two
Yeah.
3 years now.
Yeah, you're right.
They haven't gotten it done, and then they schedule don't get no easier. They barely won that game against Minnesota.
Well, it seems like every time the Chargers play, man, lightning strikes twice.
That's a good one, man. That's a good one. Uh,
Okay,
let-
Walt didn't like that.
One more thing too before. Go ahead, Jerry. Go ahead, Jerry.
no, no, I was gonna read some of these comments on TikTok because people want to chime
Go
in.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, so Fetch says losing to the Cardinals after going 2-0 is despicable. Apple user 477829949. We need Cooper Rush now. Contrarian says nobody else, just sick of the Cowboys? Question mark. Fetch says Niners gonna show the choke boys how it should have gone against the Cardinals. He also says Brock Purdy is the truth. C3 says, but they still can't win. And C3 says, no, they blew a 28-point lead in the playoffs last year. And
Yep.
another user with a bunch of numbers, no name, no profile. He's saying bang, bang. I guess he's a part of the 49er gang, I guess, right? Contraria says, how is it possible you could put up with a team on the field like Dallas did against Phoenix? Phoenix?
I remember they used to be the Phoenix Cardinals.
No way. Yeah, I know, but Phoenix, come on, man. At least get your geographic. Like
Leave him alone, man.
it's AZ, man. At least say AZ. Contrary said, and then Cantu is responding says, no one gets tired. If you're you're a cowboy for life, bro. No matter what,
Damn.
whether you win or lose, está en la sangre, right? It's in the blood. C3 that user keeps on going at it, man. He's a 49er fan. He has a couple axe picks emojis with some money sign. C3 says precisely. C3 says Jags. Contrarian, I am mad, sure, but gonna let it. I won't let it bother me. Again, the username's bang bang with a whole bunch of those I don't know, whatever. Obviously, and then look, a silent cow, right? Obviously, silent cow. I guess they're from California, but they like the Eagles. And Big DNC says, how about them cowgirls? I'll tell you this, man. You guys on TikTok are all originals, man. I've never heard the Cowboys being referred to any of those nicknames. I'll tell you that much. So
Sarcasm.
I know, man. NFZ says Herbert is 100% talented. Stephen White says the Bolts do have awesome players. Stephen White also says, I hope the Cowboys fire all the analytics teams they hired. So, obviously we let this little topic in this game and of course the TikTok get a little out of hand. But let's transition to the Saints at Packers. This looked like a game all the way to the end. How did the Packers pull this off? Is it because Derek Carr going down with what looked like a serious? I mean, at one point, pretty serious. Anytime you see a quarterback grab his shoulder,
AC joint sprain.
Was that the reason they lost, or are the Packers a real contenders in this NFC North? Walt,
Now-
take it away because he's NFC North.
I don't know. I think the Saints just judging how they played, the first couple weeks of the season and how they played even under Derek Carr Sunday, they struggle just consistently putting points up. That offense has a tendency to sputter a lot. And I just, even with the fact that they were up by 17, for me, it never felt like they were going to pull away from Green Bay. Just seeing what they were. And Jordan Love impressed me, man. And that's coming from me being a Detroit Lions fan. I try to be as unbiased as I can when it comes to evaluating Bears, Vikings, and Packers and whatnot. But I did say before the season started that I felt that Green Bay was going to be our biggest competition in the division, and I felt that Jordan Love was going to play well. Now, he didn't play well through the entire game. I think he's got some mechanics issues with him. But he made about a solid 3 or 4 wild throws I felt in that game, especially in the fourth quarter, where it made me say, okay, like, damn, so we're going to go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to this dude? And Aaron Rodgers didn't play great, his very first season as a starter. You know, he had his ups and downs, but you saw the talent. You know, we saw the talent in Aaron Rodgers at Cal when he was in college. And just being unbiased about it, man, like Love he got some arm talent and he can move too. So, like I said, I was impressed, man. I think Love is he's moving up. He's definitely moving up, and he's going to be a rival for us, I believe, over the next possible decade, man.
Yeah, Denner Lotsky actually he did a pretty good job breaking it down today on NFL Live and on Twitter. The nice clutch throws that Jordan Love was making against a very good Saints defense. I mean
He
that
looks
Saints
confident
defense.
too.
Yeah,
More
man. I'm
confident
like
than Justin Fields looks.
I'm sitting here thinking, man, damn Detroit, y'all don't suffer from about 10, 20 years of Rodgers, then about 10, almost 20 years of Ford, and now it's about to be Love. It look like Love looks good, man. And I think they could have won the game last week against the Falcons. They could be what, probably 3-0 now. So I like what I'm seeing from Green Bay. Whatnot. Everybody was out on them, except for me. But yeah, I think it's. I think I like what I'm seeing. He was making some nice throw, and they got a nice young nuclear, nice young team there. Nice. I love Romeo Dobbs. Jerry will tell you that as a receiver. They
That's
got they
it,
got
right? He came
yeah
out.
they got some they got some
Yeah.
nice guy. I like what they're building there at Green Bay. This game tomorrow, Thursday night, Green Bay Detroit. This will be for number one division, right? First place.
And this is a good game. And it's so early in the
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
What do you think, Huff?
Man, they lost for two reasons, and I'm gonna keep it simple. Jordan Love is inheriting his inner Aaron Rodgers. Number two, your backup is Jameis Winston. I'll leave it at that.
I will tell you this: there's some craziness and some wackiness to Jordan Love's game. It's crazy. I saw him slip and just made this crazy. I mean, he chucked the ball down the
Yeah,
field and play. I was like, wow. I mean, those are the things that we were hearing about, right, Walt, when he was coming out
Yeah.
as far as arm
I
talent.
think is it kind of like, and I understand he had what he sat behind Rodgers for 3 years,
3 years,
was it?
yeah.
uh-huh.
Even when he had some bad misses, like over the first 3 games of the season, he's had some bad misses too. But it's the confidence. Like if you compare him to Zach Wilson and Justin Fields and this and that, those dudes don't even look confident making those types of throws when they're even provided with the opportunity to do it. And this dude is like, okay, bad throw, so what? Bad throw, so what? And that's what the great. Not saying he's gonna be great, but in order to be great, and you got the arm talent, you got to be able to shrug off some bad throws. And he looked super confident in the fourth quarter, man.
Swag is in the he's in the TikTok.
Swag, you ain't got the answer. Swag, you ain't got him.
I okay, we got caught up with that one. Hey, I'll tell you this much right now. It's crazy to start to see Jordan Love actually get his team
Yeah,
and see how they move forward with him. Texans defeat the Jaguars 37-17. This is crazy. Jaguars they got the division last year and they were able to get into the playoffs. Texans is a young team. They're what I'd say at least 2-3 seasons out, guys.
yeah. Kendall, we got that wrong. So
Dead
bad.
wrong. I mean, hey Harvey, I was thinking about it this morning. I was looking, I was like, damn, and I went with the freaking with the Jags or whatnot. But those
Most people
divisional
did.
games are always
Yeah.
tricky.
That was crazy. I don't. What's up with the Jags? I thought they would be so much better
Past
than
two
what they're
weeks, they've been
playing.
and no, it started from week one, second half against the Colts. They struggled.
They
Then
did.
Kansas City, I don't think they scored a touchdown, but that Kansas City defense is legit. And then this past week against the Texans. And I'm like, I was looking at it, I was like, nah, the Texans, they're teasing us, man. They tease us, man. Jacksonville gonna come back. I look back at the score, it's 30. I said, oh dang, no, they're not teasing us. So
But do those four teams really play any different type of football against each other? Like it
Man,
seems like on any given Sunday, any four of those teams will beat each other.
I love the way you put that together. Well, you're right, man. That South is weird, man. Like they go on this weird trip where they look sky high, and then all of a sudden they're losing 2-3 games. I'll tell you this: Trevor Lawrence reminds me of Tony Romo.
Oh,
if I would have told you guys
And
that
hold on, let me finish. Let me finish real quick. Why I say Tony Romo? Tony Romo was infamous for going out there, starting the game, and throwing 3 interceptions, and then coming back to to give his team a fighting chance. But you never want to see that in a quarterback. I mean, there's something there with Trevor Lawrence. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. Walt, remember we heard he was the next Peyton Manning, but I mean, obviously there's something that he needs to clean up in his game. We thought last year he had the right head coach in place to get the right play calling. Is it protection? Is it play calling? What is it? I mean,
It ain't talent because they got plenty of talent there.
it's just a weird. It's a weird situation.
To
Though.
me, it seems like he just goes through the motions too much. Like similar to how like Stafford was here. You know, you would see the talent in Stafford. Yeah, when he was here with Detroit, like you would see the talent in Stafford, but he would just kind of go through the motions for an entire first half, be hit or miss, and then he'll turn it on for the third quarter, maybe turn it on for the fourth. But I mean, we go back to Clemson, man, just watching him. He was always the number one overall prospect, the can't miss guy going back to the age of 14. But sometimes with him, and I know Chris Sims pointed this out coming out of the draft, sometimes the ball just looks weird coming out of his hands. You know, like there's no real consistency with Trevor Lawrence. Whether it be him out there throwing with a flappy elbow or his feet, he's inconsistent with his footwork. Sometimes he misses high, sometimes he misses low, he misses wide. To me, for a franchise quarterback, and I'm not saying he's not this, but to me, for a franchise quarterback, he's way too inconsistent. Like if you go back to Andrew Luck, Luck had his moments where he would throw the Colts out of a game, but then he'll throw them back in it to win.
Yeah.
You still had that special feeling about Andrew Luck. When I look at Lawrence, it's like, and you compare him to the upper echelon quarterbacks in the AFC, it's like, okay, do I believe he's ever going to be able to beat Joe Burrow in Cincinnati in big games, or, you know, to a lesser extent, maybe Josh Allen. You know, people are kind of hard on Josh Allen this year, but Patrick Mahomes, he's the king of the AFC. Justin Herbert, even though he did beat Herbert a year ago.
Right.
But I don't know, man. Like I think he's obviously a franchise quarterback, but he's too inconsistent with everything. Mechanically, it's like brains wise, he's not always there, sunk into everything. There's a weird feeling about Trevor Lawrence. And Jerry, you and I talked about that coming out of the draft.
I mean, if you look at it with Justin Fields, I mean, shoot, you can look at it as Zach Wilson. That draft
Look at that class.
That class is struggling this year for whatever.
Mac Jones, Zach Wilson,
Mac Jones,
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. Also, I mean, I
think Mac looks better this year. I think stats wise, he's looking better. New coordinator or whatnot. 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 3 games. I mean, that's pretty good. With what he's working with anyway, I think that's darn good. I mean, lost 3 games on the final play. But want to piggyback right quick. Speaking of the Colts, if I'd have told y'all through 4 weeks of the season, the Colts would be number 1 in that division. And I think me and Harvey got into it recently about it. He said he said that not Stroud, but I said Stroud, but he said that Richardson has been the most impressive rookie or the rookie quarterback. And I'm like, nah, man, I think I'm gonna go with Stroud. Definitely not young right now. Jury's still on him. He's hurt right now. But Harvey, got to give it to you. I give you flowers, man. That's good. Colts are looking good. That Colts are not a bad team. They got talent on their defense. Yeah. I still think they're a year away. I think that they need an outside receiver and maybe still show up the offensive line. But I think they got some building blocks there, and they can be a team this year that's gonna be a thorn in people's tails this year. I think late. And they just upset Baltimore in overtime without Anthony Rich. He comes back this week, hopefully. But they get him back, maybe add something. I think the Colts and they in a weak division.
All up for grabs. Okay, Broncos losing to the Miami Dolphins, right? Or I was gonna say the NBA Dolphins, right? 70-20. When was the last time we saw a score like this, gentlemen?
College football.
This is insane, but in the NFL, right?
Man, like college basketball halftime score.
And if you're on TikTok, you'll see all the conspiracy theorists. I love these guys. I think they make it so interesting. But they're saying that Mike McDaniels was upset with the Broncos, so he made sure that he really let the Broncos feel it because he wanted the Broncos head coaching job.
Yeah, he did.
70-20. What do you guys got for me on this one? Harv, go ahead. Take it away.
So for me, I think the biggest thing is I think he just did it on purpose for two reasons. Number one, I'm not going to go into the whole game. You guys saw it. You know, there's you can't sugarcoat it, man. It was horrible. Russell Wilson's not the same Russell Wilson. I see him roll out, and he just doesn't look the same. It's
Yeah,
just weird, right?
but
But
Harvey, I don't think Russell Wilson was the reason they lost that game.
no, they
Sadly.
didn't. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. That's not the only reason. I'm
Yeah.
saying just everything together, and then your quarterback doesn't look good. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, right? But I'll tell you this: Mike McDaniel's came in here. He didn't get the head coaching job that he wanted in Denver, right?
I
That's
love
number
Mike
one.
McDaniel, man.
That's
That's one of
number
my
one.
favorite guys. I like him.
And I don't remember when it happened for him, but somebody told him that he would never be a coach in the NFL. I don't remember exactly who told him that, but I read it in an article, right? So knowing those two things, the other thing is there is a tweet that was sent by Sean Payton in 2022. He said about Tua and said he is not an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
All those three things that you put together on Sunday, this wasn't
they playing with a chip on their shoulder.
yeah.
Well,
They said, you know what?
yeah.
We're going to show you, man. And that's exactly what happened. And not only that, not only did they take him with the starters, they put the backups in and still beat them. It was crazy. White throwing that touchdown pass to the chosen, Robbie
Hey, man, I don't
Anderson.
know if y'all
And
seen
guess
this
Call
on
this
Twitter.
man the chosen.
guess
That's
who
his
got
name,
burned
Walt.
on, and
Yeah,
guess who
but
got burned.
his mother named him Robbie. Well, I don't know if she named him Robbie. I'm pretty sure she named him Robert.
But guess who
but-
was burned on that play?
Man, I agree. I think
Oh,
you
you
combine
know.
all of that with
Patrick
the fact that
Surtain?
the Broncos defense is terrible too. Because remember, Rex Ryan a week ago went on a rant about how horrible the Broncos defense was. So it is.
And they got talent
yeah.
on that defense. I don't understand it, man. They
I don't
got
understand
talent
it
on
either,
that
man.
defense.
They have a good secondary.
They do.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like that secondary cleaned up a lot of mistakes, man.
Yeah.
That defensive front is not good. That offensive line is not good. They still can't really run the football. They can put up some stats like with guys like Judy and Sutton or whatnot. But
Garbage time.
yeah, but it's like, man, that team is boy.
You'd have to say
Considering
that.
what
I
they
think
gave
they're a
up to get
couple-
Peyton,
I think they're a couple losses away from being sellers at the trade deadline.
they ain't selling Russ.
No, I think he's talking about Jerry Judy going to the Patriots because he says that either
Or
Justin
the
Jefferson.
Lions.
So look, just so you guys know, Kendall says that there's two names that may go off on the trade that are currently on the trade block, but nobody knows.
Yep, me and Jerry
Number
talked
one-
earlier.
Yeah, Jerry Judy, number one, of course, they've been trying to trade him since last season. He said number two was Justin Jefferson, that he's thinking that Justin Jefferson is going to get the Vikings 3 first-round draft picks. Real quick on TikTok, it says Texans will beat the Steelers. That's by a Mac Daddy, or I'm sorry, Mac on TikTok. Swag says, have a great day today. I'm out of here. Go Cowboys. Mac says, don't be shocked if New England beats the Cowboys with the 100 emoji. Cantu Reyes says, Mac's dreaming. Dallas will take New England. Mac responds, Cowboy Cantu Reyes, like they took Arizona. Mac says, you guys were not born. Man, they're going back and forth. Loyalty for Lifetime says, y'all doing something different. I just tuned in. Yeah, man. This just so everybody knows, right, on the Cowboys cast. This is how it all started for the Cowboys cast, and Kendall and Walt. We started this EastWest thing, and we started this back in February of 2020, right before COVID even was a thing, and this is what, year 3, gentlemen, going into year 4, 4 years of doing this thing. So
Mhm.
that's what we're doing here. We talk all NFL. And look, I love Rev, man. All love, man. All love. And yes, it's all love. Look at what Alex Lopez had to chime in on YouTube. He says Dolphins are the best team in the NFL. Tua is MVP caliber. Wow, that's crazy to hear that. All right, let's move along because we're getting behind on time. Titans at Browns. Titans go down bad as 27-3. What's
Yeah, Browns look real good. We ain't gonna spend too much time on that. Browns look good. Titans look atrocious.
and the Titans
I
won.
told y'all.
And the Titans won the week before, and the Browns lost the week before. I don't get it. Bills 37, Commanders 3.
Washington came back down to earth. Me and Harvey talked about it. It's a statement game. We just got the phone right before kickoff about that game. I said statement game for Washington. Are you ready for the big moment or are you not? Simple as that. Can you or can you not? They couldn't get it done. Buffalo
Nope.
came on Stephon Diggs from DC area, had a big game. Gabe Davis Josh Allen threw a pick, but he looked good for the most part. I think Sam Howard threw about 5 interceptions, didn't he? Every time I looked up, he was
Three,
throwing
four.
interceptions.
4.
Yeah, every time I looked, he was throwing interceptions. So I Washington came back. Washington came back to being Washington.
All right. Anybody else want to chime in on that game? Bills Commanders.
That's an easy one, man. It's
It,
just
it was easy.
Disaster.
I mean, Colts 22, Ravens 19.
that
Shocker.
was
Stunner.
shocker,
Stunner. Stunner of the week.
Hey,
especially at Baltimore.
and with Gardner Minshew at quarterback, I mean, he's so weird. Like, he's an enigma. Like,
Calls
sometimes,
this man weird.
whoa,
is it the mustache?
I think it's the mustache. I just kind of jealous. I don't know. I've never really grown. I mean, pretty sure I could grow that mustache. If you guys want to see it, let me know
It is weird, man.
But Gardner got the
don't
way
know.
he can't come in and really like he went to Dallas last year. Didn't that game go to overtime? Which y'all know was it
Yeah.
on the final
Was it?
fourth quarter? Or something? He played good in Dallas last year. Gardner Minshew ain't no scrub.
No,
The Eagles.
no, he was with the Eagles, and he was getting tore up by Michael Parsons. He couldn't even.
But no, but what I'm saying is he kept Philly had a big lead in that game when y'all went to Dallas when they went to Dallas last year.
Now we put a 40 burger on there.
But I know y'all came back. They was up by like 2 possessions, weren't they?
No,
Philly. Because you remember Montez Sweat caught the pick on the first play. And I think Philly was up by like almost two touchdowns at one point.
no, it was like
But that-
10.
I think
10-3
it was
or
10.
something.
You're kind of close. It's kind of
Yeah.
close. I know that they changed some play calling, which
It was a
I don't understand
it was a back and forth game though. I know
we'll
that.
talk about the Cowboys in just a bit. Okay, Patriots at Jets. Patriots 15, Jets 10. Guys, is Zach Wilson just not cut out for the NFL, or is he just in the wrong system, wrong team? Plain and simple.
He has a long way to go, and it's crazy we saying that in year 3.
Year 3.
Yeah, he has a long way to go. He always struggles against the Patriots though, but he struggles against everybody. It seems like.
Well, I mean, you're the NFL scout here on EastWest football.
Right. But yeah, he struggles a lot. He's just not. We can say he's probably the worst quarterback that came out of that class. It's not even close. Like he's not
I
seeing
don't
the
know.
field where we were blitzing him the whole.
If it wasn't for Fields' legs, like I don't know, man. Listen, I thought, I was called the biggest hater when this guy was coming out of college because I didn't see the arm talent, and he was so much better than this guy, and he was so much better than that guy, and he's gonna go to the Jets and he's gonna turn the Jets around. It seems to me that everybody that felt that strongly about Zach Wilson has fell off the face of the earth. I
remember that. I remember people were giving you a hard time. Well, I said I believe that it should have been Trevor Lawrence 1, and it should have been Justin Fields 2, and I felt like Zach Wilson would have excelled with the 49ers. I don't know. I remember me and you having those conversations, but I remember you were like saying like I still think it was with the success that Kyle Shanahan has with a lot of these quarterbacks. I don't think he has what it takes to be an NFL quarterback.
But what is the problem with the Jets? I mean, he's got a good defense. The offensive line is shot. Period. But even if he had a good offensive line, do you think he would be any better?
Well, but the thing is that if they can get that rushing attack going, they're unstoppable.
But you still gonna need him to be something at some point in time. And it's like, I don't know, like going back to college, we saw the 1 year from him. He didn't play against anybody. There were rumors about, his attitude, and, there were big concerns about how he would be received in the NFL locker room, and could he survive in the city of New York coming from Utah, when he was like from a Mormon family or whatever. There was a lot of concerns about him. And, it seems to me, man, considering what he has around him, at least with Garrett Wilson, a couple other guys, it's not just him. And if you compare the Jets situation to the Bears situation, both things I think are toxic. Now, if you look at Robert Saleh with the Jets, I think he's getting a raw deal because he was a defensive coach. He came to the Jets. The defense is there. And defensive head coaches, we really need what? A good quarterback and a solid offensive coordinator. He doesn't have either. And if you listen to him in that post-game presser, he sound defeated. Zach Wilson, Zach gives us the best chance to win. And That's what we're gonna roll with. Like he sounds
I
very
mean, what is he?
defeated.
What is he supposed to say?
Oh yeah, he stinks. Well, what do you think Jim Morris Sr. would have said?
Hey, y'all see what Joe Neighbor said? He's done with him.
He stinks.
I believe this.
Playoffs.
I believe this is. I believe this is our good friend Fernando. He's on TikTok. It's MWG Family. He says Wilson would be good in Denver with Coach Sean Payton in his system. Gene Castillo says Justin better at stopping. No, Justin's better stop. Oh, Justin Fields, I guess, better stop running. And Scott Lee says Zach Wilson and Dak are the same quarterback.
Damn.
Lionel, I mean, literally, when the Cowboys lose, everybody's out, man. Everybody's out. They're looking for any Cowboys content creators to just let us have it. But when they're winning, all we hear is crickets, man. That we don't even see the love or the hate. But back on subject. Obviously, we're like you said, he just needs the right system. Harv, would you agree?
Yeah, I think he just needs a different system, man. Because
Yeah.
what if he was with Kyle Shanahan?
I mean, Kyle Shanahan has had.
I'm just saying he's in the wrong system,
Really?
man.
Is that-
He
Let me ask you this:
Mr.
Is there
Irrelevant?
really any difference between him and Drew Lock? Even though Drew Lock is kind of like
A little bit
more
bigger.
loved, like people actually like Drew Lock in the locker room, this and that. But big arm guy, kind of reckless, makes a lot of stupid decisions from time to time, can make some wild throws, not really a starter in the NFL. Because I think that, I think Seattle wanted Drew Lock eventually to win that job, but he didn't. And they're fine. They just fine with Geno Smith. I think that team is fine for Geno Smith, and Geno Smith is fine with that team. But is Zach Wilson just another one of those quarterbacks that just won't get the opportunity to start anywhere else? Because Denver, Elway wanted him to be the guy. And he could never become the guy because he could never consistently read defenses, make the right decisions. Accuracy was always an issue for Drew Lock as well. And it's hard for these guys to really. The only way a big time, high drafted quarterback gets another opportunity as a starter is if he can take care of the football. And if you can't be consistent enough to take care of the football, who else are you going to start for?
This is how I feel about quarterbacks, right? I thought Zach Wilson coming out, he was one of the better quarterbacks if he sits for a year or two behind somebody that can play the game at an elite level, right? I think the same as Anthony Richardson. They just started him early. I don't agree with it, but that's all they got, right? But I think if Zach Wilson sits behind somebody, let's say for instance, what if he gets traded to the Chiefs?
He'll never play.
Well, I'm just saying, and I got you. But my
Yeah.
point to all this, and I've said this for many years, this has been my thing about quarterbacks, right? Is that there are quarterbacks in the NFL that I feel that if they were given the right opportunity, they'd probably be some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And I always said this to my brothers about Joshua Dobbs. Every time that guy plays, go back and watch the film. He plays really good football. But why doesn't anybody give him a chance? That's the part I don't understand. And there's been a lot of players like that have played very well. And, it's just 1 or 2 games, the starter's back, and now they're back in the bench.
And
Joshua Dobbs, I'm telling you, man, if you get a good team around him, I think he's a really good quarterback. But that's my point.
You're a really good TikToker also.
But that's my point. He's been like, he knows the system. He's been behind all these quarterbacks. Same for Zach Wilson. I think he just needs to play behind somebody.
I think Dobbs is a guy he's another one of those guys that has a ceiling to him. Jacoby Brissett got multiple opportunities to start, and Jacoby's good in spurts and, little areas, but if you want him to be your starter for an entire season, it's just not going to work.
I don't know.
Tyrod Taylor is another one of those
You think
guys.
Joshua Dobbs is not that guy?
To be the starter
Dobbs,
for someone?
Let me tell
Nah.
you something. The way he played against the Cowboys, we'll get into it.
Yeah,
we'll get into it.
We're almost there. But I will also say, just remember, Geno Smith was a high draft pick, and he was written off the entire NFL scene. Now he got paid to be leading the Seahawks, and that's exactly what he did against the Carolina Panthers. 37-27. Anything about this game stood out to you guys?
Seattle got back on track. Carolina clearly missing Bryce Young. I think Andy Dalton looked good for a little bit of
Yeah.
time he played, but I like what I've seen from Seattle. See if they can keep it rolling. It's 2 in a row for Seattle.
2 in a row. Well, anything?
That game was kind of tight for a
Yeah.
little while before Seattle, stepped on the gas. They beat us for sure. I'll say this, man. Seattle offensively, they can run the ball really well. They got some injuries along that offensive line, but they got a plethora of receivers. That defense plays well in spurts against certain teams and whatnot. That secondary is pretty solid. They still need somebody, I think, in that front seven. Even though it wasn't Wagner's back, but they still need someone younger. That's why I thought Jalen Carter would have been a solid spot for them, solid pick for them. But Witherspoon looks pretty good too. Seattle's just young. They're young in some spots, but they handle
They do
Carolina.
get Jamal Adams back this week.
Oh, that's a big. That's a name that a lot of people have forgotten.
The Hitman.
Chiefs versus Bears, and the Chiefs take this one 41-10. I think the game was so bad that Fox stopped televising and just turned it straight to the Cowboys.
Chiefs starting to hit their stride.
Honestly, the Bears got all these people. They brought all these free agents, and they have a good team on paper, and it's just not working out, man.
Eberflus.
Chiefs finally hit. Chiefs hitting their stride. Bad team. Bears just look a mess right now, and oh man, there's some people in the hot seat. There's some people in the hot seat there in Chicago. They won the offseason by spending all the damn money.
They did just release their defensive coordinator the week before.
But I think they need to release a lot of more people.
Yeah.
It's too much going on there, man.
It is hot garbage, like No Dad says that. No Dad Sports Memorial Drive. Cardinals defeat the most polarizing. You know what? They beat America's team, 28-16. Gentlemen, for those that watched this game, was this a shock or were you guys expecting this upset? Who was that?
I'm gonna say a shock. I think the Cowboys were looking ahead, maybe to San Francisco, or maybe even the Patriots this coming week. But I'm gonna speak from a fan first, then I get into it as a realness. As a fan, I kind of hate that they lost the game because now they're gonna be upset, and they play a team Sunday. They play the Patriots on Sunday, and they play my boys. So I kind of hate. I was wishing they won that game and overlooked us. Don't overlook the Cardinals. But it went the other way. But hey, it is what it is on any given Sunday. I was surprised. Like Harvey, I'm sure Harvey will get into it in a minute. Josh Dobbs, every time he gets opportunity, he does look good. And me and Jerry talked about it earlier. Cowboys they struggle against mobile quarterbacks. Quarterback that can move
Defensively.
that pocket, get outside. I noticed that. And one thing I love Michael Parsons. He can be ran on. You can run right at him. You can run. You can run at him. Get some big tackles there. Get some pulling guards at him, and he folds like a tent. You can run at him, but he can't get after the passer though. But I think that's how you slow Parsons down. Just run at his ass, and that's what the team's been doing. They ran Arizona. They was running a lot of misdirection. They was running at him, and that Cowboy defense supposed to be almighty whatnot didn't look good. But I did think they overlooked the Cardinals though. I think they overlooked Arizona. They slept on them. They lost Diggs and whatnot. I think the team was still getting over that. They'll be locked in and ready this week here, this Sunday night against New England though. They'll be ready to go. I kind of hate that as a fan, but Prescott with the end zone interception. Cardinals defense, they got some stuff on that defense. They got some guys on that. That Arizona defense is good, Jerry. It is. That Arizona defense is good. But anyways, y'all about to get into it. Okay, is that defense good or that Cowboy offense?
Man, listen.
I know y'all was missing some starters.
No, the Cowboys just got outworked.
Is the NFC East just weak as hell?
Harvey, go ahead, have the floor, Harvey.
I mean, Arizona played Washington tough as hell week 1. They damn near beat the Giants week 2. And then they turn around and beat the shit out of the Cowboys. So what does that say about the NFC East?
Yeah, and John, their head coach is familiar with the Cowboys too, for playing them the past couple years and whatnot. But that Cardinals defense, I think that Cardinals defense is legit.
I'm kind of shocked, but I kind of feel like the Cardinals would do because, like I said, they played Washington really tough week 1. They probably should have beat the Giants in week 2. Now
They should be 3-0.
I am kind of surprised. I'm not surprised Dallas went to Arizona and lost. Teams got a habit of going to Arizona, not just Dallas, but teams got a habit of going to Arizona and laying them type of eggs, man, for whatever reason it is. But the way it happened, yeah, I'm kind of shocked because Arizona didn't dominate the Giants or the Commanders.
Right.
So this is what I'll say, man. I kind of didn't believe it. I kind of didn't, but I brought it on the show when I went by myself live, and I said this, and it was Space Cowboy. I'll give him credit. He put that out there on the tweet. The Cardinals have beat the Cowboys the last 8 games, or I'm sorry,
One and
out of
seven.
the last 8 games, they've only won 1 game against the Cardinals. So that should tell you something that's weird, right? The other thing is, number one, going into the game, I honestly thought we haven't seen a team like this in a long time as Dallas Cowboys. I'm just being honest. This is a very talented roster. So I was like, there's no way they're going to lose against this team. But I will tell you this. I'm not going to blame any one person, but the coach. The head coach lost this game. And he's lost this game for multiple reasons. Number one, if you have backups playing, you don't play their backups. You play aggressive as you can. That's number one. Number two, he also said this defense was giving them these different looks, and they were backing out of those looks, and they wouldn't attack that defense. To me, if they're showing you a look, you attack that, whatever is it, zone. If it's cover 2, cover 3, you attack that coverage. He didn't do that. Number three, we got out-coached. We got outplayed. That's just the bottom line. There is nothing else to blame. That's what happened. And number three, it just always seems when the Cowboys lose, some of the players don't play through the I don't know how to say it, but I say through the game. It's almost like they quit a little bit. That's what it felt like. So to me, that's bottom line what happened. This team is not elite. Everybody that comes and says, oh, this team, it's not. Until you can show me that you can beat teams that you're supposed to beat and convincingly, then I will agree with you.
No, I'm with you, Harv. I mean, I think, like you said it, I think the Cowboys just got out. They got outplayed, outcoached on every level. I mean, I know I counted at least 5 rollout passes, bootlegs, right, by Dak Prescott, and that defense was ready to stop him. I mean, there was like six defenders multiple times, 4 defenders. They were ready for that rollout pass. They could telegraph the entire thing. I think that it wasn't complimentary football. It was very conservative play calling on the offensive side. On defense, they just got outworked. They knew how to hit the angles. They just got outcoached, completely outcoached on offensive defense. No excuses. Cowboys just did not put up a good product on this previous Sunday. It's all good. Moving on to the Patriots for the Cowboys. Steelers come away with a victory, 23-18.
Oh, I like how Pittsburgh is starting to open up that offense with Matt Canada taking more control as the reports came out before that game, well, that Sunday morning of the game. I like what I've seen from Pickens. They are missing Deontay Johnson. I think he comes back in a couple weeks. I want to see Najee Harris get a little bit more going. I want the offensive line to look good. But, man, nobody talking about this, but everybody, all the attention goes to TJ Watt. But they got a guy on the other side, Alex Highsmith, man. He is a grinder, man. Like, I like him. He's very underrated. They still had a pretty good draft. Nigga Fitzpatrick, Joey Porter got a little bit of action in. Patrick Peterson got a pick, but Alex Highsmith, he don't get no credit, and he's just as good as he ain't better than TJ Watt, but damn, he ain't far from it, man. Just imagine having to give help to both your left tackle and your right tackle. It's like impossible. You can't double everybody. But they got some guys. Yeah, man, they got some guys there, man. They got some guys. I like this Steelers team, man. And Cincinnati just won. We'll talk about that game in a minute. But Pittsburgh won 2 in a row, and they schedule is starting to light, and they got the Texans this week. And as we know, on any given Sunday, a team can lose or win. But I like what Pittsburgh building there slowly, man. Kenny Pickett looking very comfortable these last couple weeks.
Nah, it was the Raiders.
That's what I was going to say.
Hey,
That's what I was
Raiders-
going to say. It's the Raiders.
The Raiders ain't good, man. I mean, I think the Steelers did. The Steelers got right. The Steelers got right against the Raiders, man. We better get right against them on week 8. I think we play on Monday night. We better be right against them too. But yeah, I don't know, man. You know, I'm amazed at Devontae Adams, man. And I think the great receivers put up numbers regardless of who's throwing them the football.
Yep.
That's why I never believed in quote unquote great receivers not being, well, look who my quarterback is, and I can't get. Dude, the greats before, even though Stafford wasn't great, but before Stafford showed up in Detroit, man, Calvin was putting up mega numbers with John Kitna, Darren Orlowski. Like, the greats do it regardless, man. And Devontae Adams, he's one of those guys. He might be on the trading block too. Who knows, man? Might be putting on the Lion uniform. I don't know, dog.
We'll see.
Hey, finally, Walt's that son of a.
Hey, the Raiders might want a first round pick or something. Who knows, man? Who knows?
Oh, hold on.
You guys get James back.
Now all of a sudden y'all need some talent there in Detroit. But we had Harvey, y'all telling we had an argument this offseason. But I don't see the guys on Detroit now. All of a
Hey,
sudden,
we 2-1. I ain't say we
No,
need it.
no,
wouldn't
look,
mind
first
it.
of all, Walt started it when he said the NFC is weak. First of all, y'all got what, 4 wins total in your division? We got like 10, I think.
What?
I mean,
No,
you said
what,
like
you talking about the division?
Yeah,
division.
you said that's what that tells you about the NFC East, right? They're kind of weak. That's what you said.
Well, Arizona damn near beat all 3 of y'all.
No,
We're not Philadelphia, but
your division has 4 wins. 4.
us in Green Bay, we got the 4.
4.
Okay.
We got like 10.
Arizona didn't damn near sweep our division, though.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Man, get out of
4
here.
wins. Come on, man. Get out of here.
Man, let me ask you this: Is the
4
Giants
wins.
is the Giants better than anybody in our division? Well, maybe the Bears.
We said division.
I think
We
the
didn't say
Bears.
by team. We got like 10 wins, man, don't we?
9.
3, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 wins. Y'all got 4.
Man, you can't really judge it off
Come
of
on,
that.
man.
You talking about now? We talking about who the hell do you play?
Does it matter?
Yes, it matters considering the fact that we played the
It's
Chiefs
called
and the
the
Seahawks.
National Football League. It's a professional league. Every time you play, man, you any given Sunday.
Man.
But hold on, y'all just said when I was giving the Steelers credit, y'all said it's the Raiders.
It is the Raiders, though.
It is.
Say no more.
I mean,
This is my point to that. This is my point. If the Raiders left the NFL, would anybody really make a big deal of it?
I mean, probably just pretty much all the Raider Nation.
I'm just being honest. Like, what do they?
I like having the Raiders around, man. We had that discussion. I want to see them good, though.
What impact have they really had since the 80s or early 2000s? Like for 1 year.
Moving to Las Vegas.
That's true. Never mind. You're right, Jerry.
I'm just saying it was Oakland and LA, and then back to Oakland. Now Las Vegas. There's no loyalty. I don't care if you say you're Raider Nation. How can you be Raider Nation if they moved you? If they moved from every city they've been in multiple times. Steven White says Bill is my favorite coach, but we got to get another dub from them. That's because he's a Cowboy. He's part of Cowboy Nation. Steven White says they ran all over us. The 3 replacement offensive line, we sloppy. Now no continuity. If that was Detroit, they would have ran for 600 yards on Dallas last game. We need Micah to play linebacker or on early downs, which is something actually Harv was alluding to when the game was going on. Questions here by a Starface. What did Dak mean with when you guys put us there? What?
I don't know.
So he says, and I have the edit. I'll play the edit on air. Give me a moment here. I gotta go to that edit. I'm sure that everybody will be able to hear the edits, right? So they're asking Dak right here about being that team in the NFL. So they ask him, right?
Y'all put us on top of the world. We knew who we are. And in that same sense, I'm sure the media got what they wanted. But to say it's a wake-up call, we knew we had a lot of adversity. And we just didn't get it done. And I think it just goes back to myself, the offense, and the red zone.
So, Dak saying Dak things, Dak saying it's on him. Obviously acknowledge that the Cowboys are having some struggles on third down and whatnot. So that's what he was referring to. What did he mean by that? I guess the media giving them that label of being an elite team. Anyways, we're already over the Cowboys. There, it's on to the Patriots. Eagles coming away with a victory, 25-11. The Bucks have been looking pretty sharp. This game wasn't a blowout. It wasn't what everybody expected from the Eagles. Are the Eagles still a true number one team right now?
Well, I think right now they're still finding themselves. They looked a little better against Tampa, but similar to Washington, like I told Harvey, Washington had a chance to put the league on notice. A statement again, they didn't do it. Tampa had a chance, and Tampa reverted back to what we thought Tampa would be, what Baker Mayfield is, and what he has been. Reverted right back to I don't care. I don't care about the weather, the drops, none of that. Tampa came back to being Tampa, what we thought they would be, and it looked a mess. I think Jalen Hurts made a couple bad interceptions, but he made the most plays, and people still haven't found out to stop that quarterback sneak play from them. Feel look, they did what they supposed to do. They went on the road, beat a bad team, and that's really it. Jalen Carter is a stud. I like what I'm seeing with Jalen Carter, but yeah, they went on the road, made some nice plays, made the plays they had to make, and they won. Ugly win, but they got it.
Motivation04 on TikTok says Dolphins are number one, 49ers are number two, Eagles are number three. Walt, what's your assessment right now of the Philadelphia Eagles? I know you predicted them to repeat and get back into the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I think they're a good team, well coached team, solid, very talented football team, and they got the 3-0. Now, like I said, they haven't really been that impressive the first 3 weeks. Really, nobody has. I mean,
Nobody has on the
the Chiefs
NFC
are
side.
yeah, the Chiefs are 2-1. They destroyed the Bears yet a couple days ago, but they haven't really looked all that impressive. The Dolphins have. The Dolphins and the 49ers have buzzsawed the first couple games, first 3 games they've had, but I don't really know what to really make of it. I mean,
It's still
Tampa
early, but
Tampa
the
won, yeah,
Chiefs should be mad.
exactly. Tampa won their first couple games. They played Philly kind of tough or whatnot, but to go back to what Kendall said at the beginning of the show, man, any given Sunday, you can win a game, you can lose a game, or you can win a very ugly close game to a team everybody expects you to blow out. So it's the key thing is, man, win the games. Even for my Detroit Lions, we haven't really looked sexy at all the first 3 weeks, but we managed to beat the Chiefs week one. We lost a close game to Seattle, and then we even though we beat the 40 not the 49ers, we beat the Falcons 20-6. It didn't feel like that dominant of a performance, even though the defense did dominate, 7 sacks, had a ton of hurries on Ritter or whatnot. But like Ashanti and I discussed last night, you can make the argument that if Atlanta had better quarterback play, that game may have been different. So the key is to win the games, man. That's it. We knew that after losing to Seattle, we couldn't afford to lose to Atlanta too because tiebreakers started to come into play later on in the season. So we knew after losing that game to Seattle, we had to find a way to beat Atlanta. But you want to win, man. I think that's the key thing early on in the season. All these teams are still filling themselves out, pretty much. A lot of these teams have guys who didn't play the whole preseason. I think that's something people aren't taking into account either.
A
So
lot.
you're not going to really know anything about a lot of these teams, I believe, until like week 5, week 6, week 7.
Harv,
I'll say this, man. I had a conversation with my brother about these Eagles team. Oh, they're not that good. They're kind of not playing well. But you know what he said? At the end of the day, they
They
find ways
win.
to win, man. And
That's
they're
the mark
three
of
and
a good
zero.
team.
So yeah, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So to me, the scary part is what happens when this team really starts clicking, because they're not right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the most part, the ones that are clicking is going to be, of course, the 49ers and of course the
Another thing too to look at,
Yeah,
not to cut you off, Jared, but they have played three good defensive coordinators: Bill Belichick, Todd Bowles, and Brian Flores from the Vikings. They played three good defensive minds too, so that's something to look at too. I know, I mean, Philly do have talent, but they played some three good, tough defensive minds that are really good defensive coordinators in this league now. So let's just, I mean, everybody wants to just see the glamour and the 45, 30 points, but let's give these defensive coaches some props too. But they played good, three good defensive
yeah.
coordinators.
Rams 16, Bengals 19, gentlemen.
Uh,
Joe Burrow played.
Rams had every opportunity
Yep.
to go up big in that game, and it seemed like when it rained, it poured. I'm gonna use it again on the first drive. Tutu Atwell, I thought it was a touchdown, and it seemed like it just went down here from there. Like I mean, Stafford throwing interceptions like I mean, just crazy, like giving away candy on Halloween or something. What it seemed like to me. He was throwing pick. I seen a couple more should have been picked. Um, I thought they should have ran the ball a lot more, but they didn't. So they were just passionate. But Joe Burrow, I don't know what's going on with the Bengals. Bengals won a game, but it wasn't pretty. It was they still ain't right. Don't get they nowhere near right. They're not. I don't know what's going on. T Higgins dropping passes. Jamar Chase finally had a good game. Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon. Um, they got some work to do in Cincinnati, but they're not going to play the Rams and Stafford every week. I don't know who they got this week. I know they scheduled about to start lighting up, but
Rams play the Colts.
Yeah.
okay, they got. I know their next few games. They I think yeah, they go start to lighten up from a little bit. Maybe they found some way to get going, but on any given Sunday we don't know. But I didn't take much for this game. Rams just I don't know. They I don't know.
All right. And the last one, but not least, let's go ahead and make our prediction for the Lions at Packers this Thursday, gentlemen. What do you guys got?
Lions that pack. I'm gonna go with the Packers. I'm going Green Bay home. I'm gonna go with Green Bay.
Oh man, Harv, I'll let you go and then I'll make a prediction. Go ahead, Harv. Make your prediction.
For what? I'm sorry, my
For the
Green Bay and
Lions,
the Packers.
Lions
Green
and
Bay,
Packers for the Thursday night game.
Green Bay and who?
Detroit.
Lions at Packers.
Lions are gonna win. Lions have their number. They've had their number the last couple of years, man.
All right, let me see.
Smart man.
I'm gonna give tails to Packers and heads to Lions.
What?
Jerry. Don't do that.
This is a tough one, man.
It is a tough one, but just the way the
I
Lions
pulled-
have been playing them the last couple of years, man, it seems like they got their number for real.
So I pulled
Different season,
head.
Harvey.
I
Huh?
pulled
Different season.
I know, man, but okay.
I
Same
pulled
thing.
What that mean? Different season. Both teams 2-1 though. Like what you?
let me
That ain't
finish.
you ain't even classify nothing.
Let me finish. I used a prompt and everything, man. I said the home team got tails, right? Which is the Packers and Lions get this. So I pulled heads and give me the Lions on Thursday. Now you guys can conversate.
Yeah, I think Packers gonna win it. They're home. I like what I seen getting the tail end that game against the Saints. I think they get off to a quicker start. I think they'll beat Detroit. Short week.
G Castillo said two-headed. No, look, there's a tails, there's a heads, and
I think that short week can either work to your benefit or it can work to your detriment.
it really can.
We won. Crazy thing is we won the last 3 in Green Bay, and I think overall we've won 8 out of the last 10 against some weird. And I was reading earlier, so we've been handling Green Bay pretty easily. Not easily, but we've been beating Green Bay a lot lately. Even the Aaron Rodgers Green Bay Packers over the past 5 or 6 games, we've been able to hold them under 30. We held them. I think the first game we played them last year, we beat them like 12-6, something like that. We held them under 20 both games last season. Now this is Jordan Love and that team. Green Bay Packers defense has been kind of inconsistent the first couple of weeks of the season, and to me it's just a different feel for this Detroit team, man. So I'm going with Detroit.
Detroit's won 7 of the last 12.
Damn.
7 of the last 12.
7 of the last 12, and they've won the last 3.
Nice record right there. They are in a row. Fernando says Packers are a new team though, and
Well, a new quarterback.
yeah. Motivation 04 says Packers. And Fernando says 35-24 for the Packers. That's it for us, gentlemen. Any last words? I know, Walt. I know you have to rebrand. For those that are watching, I know you're watching on EastWest. We thank you so much. Those that are on the TikTok live, you can find us on EastWest Football. We are on all social medias. Just click the link in the bio. Help us get to 1,000. Of course, Walt, you're going through a rebranding. How can people find you to hear about your Detroit Lions and your coverage of the NFC North?
Well, as long as you got a Facebook or a LinkedIn, you can always find us.
But you
My
will
page-
be back
my-
on YouTube,
yep.
right?
Nah, nah, not with this brand. Maybe with a different brand. Do plan on starting up a draft page. But as far as Lions Avenue content, you can find us on Facebook. My particular personal Facebook page is public. We also have the Lions Avenue fan page on there. Also, the Detroit Lions news page is on there. We also broadcast on there as well. And if you have a LinkedIn account, you can find us live on there as well.
On LinkedIn, it's under your name, or is it Lions? You have a Lions
Nope,
page.
it's under my name. Yep.
Okay.
Kendall, where can we?
Ken's Pat Talk.
Fernando says he don't have Facebook anymore. What?
Ken's Pat's Talk is where you can find me at, right down there.
All Patriots news and of course AFC East news.
Yeah, all Patriots news, AFC East news, NFL. I'm an NFL fan, but I'm a Patriots fan as well. But yeah, find me there. I will be going live to catch me live on a couple podcasts tomorrow night and Thursday night. I'll be heading out this weekend, going out to Dallas to the big game. Might be doing a live show out there. So hey, just check me out, man. Ken's Pat's Talk.
Harv,
You already know, man. The Cowboys Cast, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook,
Not
YouTube.
banned.
Hit us up. Not banned.
Not banned.
we got banned in Facebook, but
well, we got banned on Facebook and then we got banned on TikTok for about a week.
Yeah.
But hey, this is for all of y'all. Hey, help us all on all our channels reach 1,000 plays. We want to give this salute to you guys. And that's it for us, guys. Catch us Sunday.
Keep it
real.
Peace.